Beloved friends, within you lies a power so marvelous, so infinite, that it can dissolve every condition of sickness, restore the weary body, and illumine the mind with radiant health. This power is the presence of the infinite spirit within you, the life principle itself. You are not separate from it. You breathe it, live in it, and move through it. Every prayer you make in harmony with this divine presence is answered instantly. For prayer is not begging. Prayer is accepting, affirming, and realizing the truth of wholeness now. Healing is not something that comes from outside. It is the recognition of what already is within. Just as light instantly removes darkness, the awareness of God's healing love instantly removes the illusion of disease. Let us explore the secret healing prayer that works instantly, and I will give you guiding points to bring this truth alive in your own experience. My beloved friend, let us take a moment and dwell deeply upon this eternal truth. God's presence is within you right now. You are not separate from the source of all life. You are not cut off from the healing power that governs the universe. The very life that beats your heart, circulates your blood, and animates every atom of your being is the life of God. When you pause, when you turn inward and quietly affirm the presence of this infinite spirit, you are aligning yourself with the limitless reservoir of healing, wisdom, and peace that is always flowing within you. You do not need to run here or there to find healing, for it is not outside of you. It is not in a distant place, nor does it require some future time to arrive. Healing is the revelation of what already is. The divine perfection is present in your spirit right now, awaiting recognition. When you affirm with conviction, God's life flows through me as harmony, wholeness, and perfection, you are not trying to make something true. You are declaring what has always been true. This affirmation is not a suggestion. It is an unveiling, a realization of your eternal oneness with the life principle. Think of the sun shining brightly in the sky. The clouds may appear heavy and dark, and for a time you may believe the sun has vanished. But the truth is, the sun never stopped shining. It only appeared to be hidden from view. In the same way, sickness, limitation, and fear are but passing clouds. They are the mist of false belief, veiling from your awareness the radiant presence of health, harmony, and vitality. The moment you affirm the presence of God within, you pierce through the clouds and behold the light again. The sun was always there. Likewise, your health and wholeness were always within you. Every cell of your body listens to the voice of your mind. The subconscious mind, that silent builder within, takes the images, feelings, and words you impress upon it and brings them into manifestation. When you dwell on weakness, when you speak words of illness, when you imagine yourself broken, your subconscious accepts this as instruction. But when you turn within and affirm the presence of God, you are giving it a new pattern. You are declaring, the infinite life dwells in me, and it restores me now. And instantly, silently, the subconscious goes to work, rearranging and restoring, bringing into visibility the pattern of divine perfection. This is why it is essential to affirm with feeling, with deep inner knowing. Words repeated mechanically have little power, but words spoken with conviction, backed by belief, pierce the depths of your subconscious mind and are received as law. When you say, God's life flows through me now, let it not be a mere statement. Feel the vitality coursing through you. Sense the warmth of divine energy, moving in every nerve, every organ, every fiber of your being. Let your imagination paint the picture of radiant health, and your subconscious will reproduce it in form. Now, let us dispel the illusion of time. Many people think healing must take days, weeks, or months. But healing is not a process in the infinite. It is a recognition. The moment you accept the presence of God's life within you, that moment you are healed. The body may take time to outpicture it fully, just as the seed takes time to emerge as a tree. But the healing itself, the alignment in spirit, occurs instantly. You do not wait for the sun to shine. It shines always. You simply wait for the clouds to part. As you affirm the presence of God, you are not creating something new. You are uncovering what has been true eternally. Imagine a crystal clear spring flowing beneath the surface of the earth. The thirsty man may dig in dry soil, unaware of the water below. Yet the spring is there waiting to be tapped. When he clears away the soil, the water rushes forth, abundant, and refreshing. So too, when you affirm the presence of God, you are clearing away the soil of fear, doubt, and false belief, and the spring of divine life gushes forth, bringing health, vitality, and renewal. The great secret is that God is closer to you than your very breath. You live, move, and have your being in Him. Right now, as you listen, the Infinite Spirit is flowing in you, through you, around you. There is no separation, no distance, no delay. In the silence of your soul, say to yourself, God's presence is my life, my strength, my health, my peace. And as you affirm this truth, you will find a quiet joy stealing over your heart, a gentle warmth moving through your being, a deep assurance that all is well. Do not wait for outer signs to confirm this. Begin now to walk in the light of this awareness. Speak as though you are healed. Act as though you are whole. Give thanks as though your prayer is already answered. For indeed it is. The infinite life within you cannot fail. It is perfect, complete, changeless. Your recognition of it is the key. The more you dwell upon this presence, the more you feel it, the more you affirm it, the more your body and affairs must mirror that inner truth. Beloved friend, realize deeply that the presence of God within you is the very essence of health itself. It does not need to struggle to heal you. Just as light effortlessly dispels darkness, so does the awareness of God's presence dissolve every illusion of sickness. The healing prayer that works instantly is this recognition. God is in me now, and God's life is my life. Rest in that truth. Feel its reality. Let it saturate your mind and sink deep into your subconscious. Repeat it as you drift into sleep, and let it be the first thought upon waking. God's life flows through me as harmony, wholeness, and perfection. You will find that your body responds, your mind grows calm, and your spirit rejoices. Healing is not something you strive for. It is the unveiling of what already is. And so as you go forth, carry this awareness with you. In every breath, every heartbeat, every step, affirm silently, God is my life, and that life is perfect. This is the secret prayer. This is the instant healing. It is yours now, for you are one with the Infinite. My beloved friend, there is a truth, so liberating, so freeing, that when it is realized, it dissolves all chains of fear and sickness. Instantly, that truth is this. Sickness has no reality in itself. Illness is not a power. It is not a presence. And it has no authority except the one you grant it in your own mind. Disease is a shadow of belief, a projection of fear, a mirage of the senses. It has no substance in the eternal order of God. The only life there is the life of the Infinite. And that life is harmony, wholeness, and perfection. The moment you release the belief in sickness and affirm the presence of health, you set into motion the law of the Spirit, and healing follows as naturally as light dissolves darkness. Consider this deeply. Darkness is not a thing in itself. It is merely the absence of light. You cannot scoop up darkness, weigh it, or hold it in your hand. The instant you bring in light, the darkness disappears without effort. So too, sickness is not a presence of evil substance, but the absence of awareness of health. It is a shadow cast by false belief, by fear, by separation in the mind. When you affirm the truth of divine health, when you recognize the radiant presence of God's life in you, the shadow of sickness vanishes. It cannot withstand the light of spiritual understanding. You must train yourself, therefore, to stop giving reality to appearances. The senses may cry out, I am weak, I am in pain, I am diseased. But these are impressions upon the screen of consciousness, not eternal truths. Do not let your outer eyes deceive you. Look instead with the inner eye of faith. See yourself as whole, perfect, complete. Say within, this condition is nothing but a passing shadow. God's health is my health now. The life principle flows through me in radiant perfection. By affirming this, you are withdrawing the energy of belief from the illusion of sickness and placing it upon the reality of health. Let us reflect on this with a simple example. Imagine a child frightened by a shadow on the wall. To him, it appears real, menacing, alive. But when the light is turned on, he sees it was nothing but an illusion cast by an object in the room. His fear evaporates at once. Likewise, when you hold the conviction of illness in your mind, you tremble before a shadow. But when you bring in the light of divine truth, You see that sickness has no power, no substance, no independent existence. It is a shadow of the mind, dispelled by the recognition of God's eternal wholeness. Every cell in your body responds to your mental state. If you believe in weakness, your body reflects weakness. If you believe in strength, your body responds with vigor. The subconscious mind does not reason or question. It simply accepts what you impress upon it. When you say to yourself, I am sick, I am failing, you are programming the subconscious to manifest that pattern. But when you declare, I am whole, I am strong, God's life fills me now, your subconscious accepts that as truth and reorganizes the body accordingly. Therefore, releasing the belief in sickness is not a denial of sensation. It is a denial of its supposed power. You are affirming that spirit alone governs, and spirit is perfection. Let me share a profound law. The body is the servant of the mind. It has no power to act independently. It reflects faithfully the images impressed upon it by your thoughts and emotions. If you see yourself as broken, your body manifests brokenness. If you see yourself as healed, radiant and whole, the body aligns with that inner picture. This is why the great master said, according to your faith be it unto you. Faith is simply belief, mental conviction. If you place your faith in disease, you strengthen its appearance. But if you place your faith in God's healing presence, you dissolve disease at its root. It is not enough to say, I do not want to be sick. That is merely fighting with shadows. Instead, affirm the opposite. Say, I am life. I am strength. I am harmony. The healing power of God flows through me now. Fill your mind with images of yourself free, vibrant, joyous, and whole. See yourself walking in radiant height, speaking words of joy, living in peace. The subconscious accepts this picture and outpictures it in form. As you persist in this practice, the false belief in sickness loses its hold, and health becomes your natural expression. Some may ask, but what of the pain, the symptoms the doctors report? My beloved, these are appearances. They are not ultimate reality. They are the outpicturing of past beliefs, the shadow of old fears. Do not argue with them. Do not give them power by constant attention. Instead, lift your mind above them and fix it on truth. Just as the compass needle points unfailingly to the north, so must your thought point unfailingly to God's life within you. Symptoms will fade when the belief behind them is dissolved. Truth always outlasts appearance. You may recall how a mirage in the desert appears real to the eye. The thirsty traveler may even chase after it, only to find it vanish when approached. Sickness is much the same. A mirage the senses, an image without substance. The cure is not to run from it, but to recognize its unreality and turn inward to the fountain of living water that flows from the Spirit. Drink deeply from that fountain by affirming, the Lord is my health, my strength, and my joy. His life is my life. His strength is my strength. His peace is my peace. In this recognition, the mirage dissolves and you find yourself sustained by the living reality of God's presence. I tell you with certainty, there is no incurable condition. There is only incurable unbelief. The moment you release the thought that sickness has power, you are free. Healing begins instantly the very moment you cease giving authority to disease. For the only authority is God, and God is wholeness. Let us practice together. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and say within, I release every false belief in sickness. I deny its power over me. I affirm that God's life is my life now. Every atom of my being vibrates with health, harmony, and peace. Feel these words sink into the depths of your mind. Imagine a golden light flowing through you, touching every cell, every nerve, every organ. See the light dissolving all shadows, all fear, all false belief. Feel yourself radiant, strong, and alive. This is not imagination, it is truth. The subconscious accepts it and manifests it in your body. Beloved, remember this. Sickness is not real in the eyes of spirit. It is a fleeting illusion. Release it, refuse to bow before it, and affirm only the truth of wholeness. Live each day in the joyous awareness that God's presence fills you. When a thought of weakness arises, replace it instantly with the truth. God's strength is mine. God's health is mine. Train your mind to dwell only on health, only on peace, only on the perfection of God's life within you. And so you will find yourself walking in the freedom of spirit, released from the bondage of false belief. The healing prayer that works instantly is the prayer of recognition that sickness has no power, no reality, and that health is the eternal truth of your being. Accept this now, live it, feel it, and rejoice in it. For the infinite has made you whole, and nothing can oppose it. My beloved friend, let us go deeper into this truth, that prayer is not petition. It is not begging. It is not trying to persuade some distant power to intervene in your affairs. Prayer is alignment. Prayer is the tuning of your consciousness with the eternal harmony of God. The infinite is not moved by pleading words, nor does it require your persuasion. God is changeless, eternal, ever-present, and all-providing. Prayer is the act of lifting your mind out of fear, worry, and confusion, and aligning it with the divine pattern of perfection, which has always been and always will be. When you pray in this way, healing is not something to be attained in the future. It is the recognition of what is already yours now. When a musician tunes an instrument, he does not change the nature of music itself. The harmony is already present in the universe. He merely aligns the strings so that they vibrate in accordance with the laws of sound. So it is with prayer. You are not trying to change God, nor to move him to act. You are tuning the strings of your mind so that they vibrate in accord with the divine presence that is already within you. The moment your thought is aligned with truth, the discord of sickness or confusion disappears, and harmony is revealed. Too often, people think of prayer as a desperate cry, "Oh God, heal me, save me, deliver me." This is not prayer in its highest form. That kind of pleading suggests separation, as though God were outside you, withholding good, until you ask enough times. But the truth is that God has already given all. The infinite has already implanted within you health, peace, abundance, and joy. Prayer is not asking. It is accepting. Prayer is not pleading. It is receiving. When you pray correctly, you are saying, "I now accept the health, the peace, and the abundance which God has already provided." The great secret is that you are always praying, whether you realize it or not. Every thought, every feeling, every mental image is a form of prayer, for it is an impression upon your subconscious mind. If you dwell upon fear, lack, or disease, you are unconsciously praying for those conditions, and the subconscious, which accepts whatever you impress upon it, brings them forth. But when you deliberately align your thoughts with truth, when you affirm wholeness, when you visualize health, when you feel gratitude, you are consciously praying, and the subconscious responds by manifesting harmony. Let us illustrate this. Imagine a man with a radio. The music is playing in the air, but he hears only static because the dial is not tuned. He could cry and plead for the music, but his begging would not change the broadcast. The music is already here. Wait. The instant he aligns the dial, the music comes through clearly. Prayer is exactly the same. God's life, love, and harmony are already present, already broadcasting into your being. The moment you tune your thought, the moment you align with faith and recognition, you hear the music of divine health and peace. This is why the great mystics always taught that prayer is realization. It is not an attempt to change the outer world, but to awaken to the inner truth. When Jesus stood before the tomb of Lazarus, he did not beg God to raise him. He simply said, "Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me." This is perfect prayer, thanksgiving in advance, recognition of what is already accomplished in spirit. And immediately the miracle occurred. You too must learn to pray in this way. Not asking for health, as though you were deprived of it, but thanking God for the health that is already yours in the invisible realm. The subconscious mind, which is the silent creative power within you, does not argue or question. It accepts the patterns you impress upon it, whether good or bad. If you constantly affirm, "I am sick, I am weak," the subconscious accepts that and reproduces it in your body. But if you pray by aligning your thought with truth, by affirming, "God's life flows through me as health, strength, and vitality," the subconscious accepts that also and manifests it as your physical experience. Thus, true prayer is not begging. It is impressing the truth upon your subconscious with faith and conviction. Think of a gardener planting seeds. He does not beg the soil to produce. He does not plead with nature to let the seed grow. He knows that growth is already in the seed, and that the soil will do its part once the seed is planted. He simply plants, waters, and waits with trust. Prayer is the planting of the seed of truth in the subconscious soil. Once planted with faith, the law of growth takes over, and the result must appear. There is no need to beg, no need to doubt. Simply align with truth, and let the law of life work for you. When you pray, therefore, let your words be words of acceptance, not desperation. Say, "Thank you, Father, for your healing presence within me. Thank you for perfect health, perfect peace, perfect strength. I accept it now." As you repeat this, feel it as true. Visualize yourself radiant, whole, and joyous. See yourself doing the things you love with ease and energy. Feel gratitude as though it were already accomplished. This is true prayer, the prayer of alignment, the prayer of realization. And when doubt arises, as it sometimes will, do not argue with it. Do not wrestle with fear. Instead, gently turn your thought back to truth. Say, "Peace, be still. God's presence is here, and all is well." Each time you do this, you are tuning the dial of your mind closer and closer to perfect harmony. And soon the static of fear is gone, and the clear melody of health and peace fills your soul. Beloved friend, learn to see prayer not as an emergency cry, but as a daily communion. Each morning before the rush of the day, take time to align your thought with God. Affirm, "This day the life of God flows through me. This day I am guided, healed, and sustained. This day I walk in health and harmony." Throughout the day, when challenges appear, pause and silently reaffirm, "God is here, God is health, God is strength." In this way, prayer becomes the atmosphere of your life, and you live continually in alignment with Spirit. Do you see now why prayer works instantly? Because the moment your thought is aligned, the healing is accomplished in Spirit. The outer form may take time to reveal it, but the inner reality is already complete. Just as a switch instantly brings in the light that was always there, so prayer instantly reveals the help that is eternally yours. You do not have to wait for God to act. He has already given all. You only wait for your mind to accept it. So let your prayer be alignment. Let it be realization. Let it be thanksgiving in advance. Say within yourself now, "I align my thought with God's truth. I am whole. I am healed. I am at peace." Thank you, Father, that it is so. Feel it, believe it, and let it saturate your subconscious mind. This is the secret prayer that works. It works because it is truth, and truth always works. My beloved friend, let us linger upon one of the greatest truths of your life. Your subconscious mind is the silent partner of all your prayers. It is the fertile soil into which every thought, every belief, every word is planted. Just as the earth does not question the seed you place within it, but simply accepts it and brings it forth according to its kind, so your subconscious does not argue, does not reason, does not analyze. It only receives and reproduces. This is why it is written, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The heart, in this sense, is your subconscious, the inner chamber where impressions are received and magnified until they become the outer experience of your life. You may think of the subconscious mind as the vast unseen power beneath the surface of the ocean. The conscious mind is like the little boat upon the waves, choosing the direction, steering, deciding. But beneath the surface lies the mighty current, deep and powerful, carrying the boat wherever it is directed. The subconscious is that current. It governs digestion, circulation, healing, repair, and every secret function of your body. You do not tell your heart to beat, yet it beats faithfully. You do not instruct your cells to repair, yet they heal wounds and restore tissues. This silent intelligence, this life principle, is the subconscious at work, carrying out the patterns impressed upon it. When you pray, it is not the conscious mind alone that matters. It is not enough to repeat words without feeling or to say affirmations mechanically. True prayer impresses the subconscious with a sense of conviction, with imagery, with feeling. The subconscious is moved not by empty phrases, but by the emotionalized word, the word clothed with faith. When you say, "I am healthy, I am whole," and you feel it as true, the subconscious accepts that impression and begins to direct every function of your being to manifest health. But if you say, "I am sick, I am weak, I am afraid," whether aloud or in thought, The subconscious accepts this also and brings it forth. It does not distinguish between what is good and what is bad. It simply obeys the law of impression. This is why the guarding of your thoughts is so vital. The subconscious is like rich soil. It will grow weeds or flowers depending upon the seed you plant. Your role is to plant only the seeds of truth, only the affirmations of health, peace, and harmony. Let us take a simple example. A man may continually say, I am getting old, I am failing, I am losing my strength. Without realizing it, he is impressing these negative images upon his subconscious. And the subconscious, faithful servant that it is, brings about conditions of weakness, decline, and frailty. Yet another man of the same age affirms daily, the life of God renews me every moment. My strength is as the eagle's. I am full of vitality and vigor. His subconscious accepts this pattern, and his body responds with renewed energy. Both men are living out the law of the subconscious. One misuses it in ignorance. The other directs it with wisdom. This is why it is said, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. The heart here is the subconscious, and out of it flows the reality of your health, your relationships, your experiences. To pray effectively is to impress the subconscious with the divine pattern of harmony. Visualize yourself whole. Feel the joy of radiant health. Picture the light of God's life flowing through you. Let the subconscious receive this image as though it were already real. Then rest, knowing that the law of growth will bring it forth in its perfect form. The subconscious is moved most powerfully in two states, in the quiet of sleep and in the stillness of deep relaxation. This is why affirmations spoken just before sleep or in moments of calm meditation are so effective. The conscious mind grows quiet, and the gates of the subconscious stand open. If in those moments you fill your mind with thoughts of healing and peace, the subconscious accepts them deeply and works all night long to bring them to pass. Many a man has gone to bed sick and awakened well because his final thought was, the healing presence of God is within me, restoring me now. Do not underestimate the images you hold in your imagination. The subconscious accepts them as commands. If you continually imagine yourself weak, the subconscious reproduces weakness. If you imagine yourself strong and vibrant, the subconscious reproduces vitality. This is why Jesus said, when you pray, believe that you receive it, and you shall have it. To believe you receive it is to imagine it as real, to feel it as though it were already so. The subconscious does not know the difference between reality and vividly imagined truth. It accepts both as fact and brings them into your experience. Let us practice this now. Close your eyes and quietly affirm within, the infinite healing presence flows through me now. Every cell, every organ, every nerve is filled with light, life, and harmony. Picture yourself glowing with radiant health. See yourself moving freely, joyously, strongly. Feel the joy of being whole. As you do this, you are impressing your subconscious with the truth. Repeat it often, with feeling, until it becomes a deep conviction. The subconscious will take that pattern and bring it into manifestation. Remember, too, that fear is prayer in reverse. To dwell on fear is to impress the subconscious with the very condition you dread. How many people, fearing illness, constantly imagine it, talk about it, anticipate it, and then it appears in their life. They have been unconsciously praying for what they do not want. The remedy is to reverse the thought. When fear arises, replace it instantly with truth. Say, God's life is my life. I am whole. I am safe. I am at peace. Impress this instead, and the subconscious will carry it out. This is not mere theory. It is the eternal law of mind. You have seen it in your own life. When you were filled with joy, peace, and expectancy, how quickly good things came to you. When you were filled with fear and worry, how easily trouble followed. The subconscious magnifies what you dwell upon. Therefore, dwell only on what you desire to see expressed. My beloved friend, make your subconscious your ally. Speak to it gently, persistently, lovingly. Feed it with words of health, strength, love, and faith. Fall asleep each night with affirmations of wholeness. Awaken each day with thoughts of gratitude. In time, your subconscious will be saturated with these truths, and they will overflow into every aspect of your life. Remember, the subconscious is the builder, the silent worker, the faithful servant. It never rests, never sleeps, never questions. It simply obeys the pattern you give it. Give it the pattern of health, and it will produce health. Give it the pattern of peace, and it will produce peace. Give it the pattern of love, and it will produce love. This is the secret of effective prayer. It is the impressing of the subconscious with divine truth until it becomes your lived reality. And so let us end this reflection with a quiet affirmation. The power of the infinite flows through my subconscious mind. It guides me, heals me, and sustains me. I fill my subconscious with thoughts of health, harmony, and joy. I am whole, I am healed, I am free. Repeat this with feeling, and your subconscious will bring it to pass. For it is always listening, always creating, always manifesting according to your faith. My beloved friend, healing is not a slow and laborious process in the mind of God. Healing is instantaneous the moment you recognize the truth of your being. It is the recognition that wholeness was never lost, that health was never absent, that peace was always within you. The body may take time to reorganize, to adjust, to display outwardly what you have seen inwardly, but the healing itself, the act of alignment, occurs in the twinkling of an eye. It happens at the speed of recognition. Just as darkness vanishes the instant light appears, so does sickness dissolve the instant you perceive the truth of God's presence in you. Think for a moment of the sun hidden by heavy clouds. You may stand for hours, for days, believing the light is gone, yet the sun has not ceased to shine. The moment the clouds break, the light floods the earth again. Healing is the breaking of the clouds of fear, doubt, and false belief. The moment they part, the light of divine health, which has always been present, shines through. That breaking of clouds, that instant recognition, is what we call healing. It is not the creation of health. It is the unveiling of what has always been. The subconscious mind, which is the great servant of your life, responds immediately to the images impressed upon it. If you impress weakness, it manifests weakness. If you impress strength, it manifests strength. It does not delay, it accepts at once. When you affirm, I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, and you feel it as reality, the subconscious responds instantly. It begins at once to rearrange the patterns of your body, to restore harmony, to bring order where there was disorder. The change begins in the invisible, but it is immediate. The body, as the outer garment of your mind, follows the inner command. Let me illustrate this with a simple analogy. A man sits in a dark room, fumbling, fearful, believing himself trapped. He may spend hours lamenting, wishing for the light. Yet the instant he flips the switch, the entire room is illuminated. The darkness does not fight, does not resist, does not take time to leave. It is gone the moment light is recognized. So it is with healing. The moment you turn on the switch of truth, the illusion of sickness is dispelled. The body, which had been obeying the patterns of false belief, now obeys the new command of health, and the healing process is instantly set in motion. Why then, you may ask, do some people take time to manifest the healing outwardly? Because the body is matter, it functions in time and space. Bones must knit, tissues must repair, organs must restore themselves. But this physical outpicturing is not the healing itself, it is the effect. The healing itself is instant, because it is the recognition of truth in mind. Once you accept that truth, the subconscious, which controls all bodily functions, sets to work at once. The outer manifestation follows as surely as dawn follows night. It is important, therefore, not to confuse appearances with reality. A man may affirm health and yet still see symptoms for a time. If he doubts, if he says it is not working, he clouds the recognition again. But if he persists, if he holds to the truth that healing was already accomplished the instant he aligned with God, he will see the outer evidence soon enough. Faith is the unwavering recognition that what is true in spirit is true in reality, regardless of appearance. You have seen this law in many small ways. You have had moments when a headache, a pain, or a burden vanished instantly, the moment you released fear and affirmed peace. That instant change was not a miracle, was the natural law of mind. You shifted your inner belief, and the outer condition responded at once. This same law governs every organ, every disease, every condition. There is no incurable illness, for there is no limit to the power of recognition. The only limitation is in the belief of the individual. Consider the words of the Master, who said, Be it done unto you according to your faith. Faith is recognition. It is the inner knowing that the healing is already accomplished. When the woman touched the hem of his garment, he said, "Your faith has made you whole." It was not the garment, nor even the outer touch. It was her inner recognition, her instant acceptance of health, that brought the healing. The same power is within you now. The moment you touch the truth in your own heart, the healing is instant. Let us practice this now. Close your eyes and affirm quietly, "The healing presence of God is within me. It is active now, restoring, renewing, and revitalizing me. I accept this truth instantly, and I rejoice in it." Feel these words as reality. Imagine yourself flooded with light, every cell radiant, every organ whole, every nerve filled with peace. See yourself doing the things you love, free, joyous, strong. As you hold this image, your subconscious accepts it immediately. The healing is done in that moment, whether or not you see it yet in the flesh. Think of it like planting a seed. The instant you place it in the soil, life begins to stir within. You may not see the sprout above ground for days, but the growth is already happening. So too, when you impress health upon the subconscious, the healing is already accomplished. The sprout will break forth into visible form in due time, but the healing itself is instant. The key is persistence. The subconscious responds instantly, but your conscious mind must remain steady. If you waver, if you plant the seed today and dig it up tomorrow, you delay the manifestation. But if you hold firm, if you rest in the assurance that the healing is already accomplished, you will see it unfold before your eyes. Beloved friend, realize deeply that healing is not a future event. It is not something to be waited for. It is now. The life of God is in you now. The health of God is yours now. The moment you recognize it, the healing is accomplished. Do not say, "I will be healed." Say, "I am healed now." Do not pray, "Someday I will be strong." Say, "God's strength is in me now." Speak in the present tense, for the infinite knows no past or future, only the eternal now. And when doubts arise, as they sometimes will, return again to truth. Say, "This healing is already done. I accept it now. Thank you, Father, that it is so." Repeat it until your mind is filled with peace. The subconscious will hear, and the body will obey. So rest, beloved, in this assurance. Healing is instant recognition. The moment you accept God's life as your life, you are healed. Hold fast to this truth. Walk in it and let the outer world reflect what is already accomplished within. For the law of spirit never fails, and the healing presence is active in you now. My dear friend, the Infinite has given us a perfect formula, a simple yet profound prayer that aligns us with the healing presence of God within. Words, when charged with faith and feeling, are not mere sounds. They are spiritual forces, creative powers that impress the subconscious mind and mold it into the likeness of what you declare. Therefore, when you say with deep conviction, "The infinite healing presence within me now makes me whole, pure, and perfect. I am life, I am light, I am health," you are invoking a divine law. You are setting in motion the limitless intelligence that governs all creation, and that law responds instantly. Understand that this formula is not magic, nor is it a superstition. It is the eternal law of life, the same law that governs the stars in their courses, and the seed as it grows into a mighty tree. The subconscious mind does not reason, does not argue. It accepts what you impress upon it. Just as soil accepts a seed and brings forth after its kind, the subconscious accepts your word and brings forth health, vitality, and wholeness. The prayer is the seed, repetition is the planting, feeling is the water and sunshine, manifestation is the harvest. When you affirm, "The infinite healing presence within me now makes me whole," you are not speaking of a distant deity, you are declaring the activity of the life principle within you. God is not afar off, dwelling in some remote heaven. God is the very life of your body, the breath in your lungs, the pulse in your veins. To affirm that the healing presence is active in you now is to awaken to the truth of your being. It is to shift your focus from appearances of weakness or sickness to the eternal reality of wholeness that cannot be diminished. Say it slowly. The infinite healing presence within me now makes me whole. Let each word sink deep into your subconscious. Feel the peace of wholeness as though it were already accomplished. Do not strain. Do not plead. Simply accept as you would accept the warmth of the sun upon your skin. The subconscious receives the impression and begins its silent, tireless work of restoration. Then declare, I am pure. What does this mean? It means that the life of God within you knows no stain, no corruption, no imperfection. It means that the essence of your being is untouched by disease, untouched by error, untouched by fear. To affirm purity is to release the false idea that sickness has power over you. It is to cleanse your mind of guilt, resentment, and fear. For these are the true toxins that poison the body. As you affirm purity, the subconscious responds by purifying your thoughts, your emotions, and even your physical cells. Next say, I am perfect. Perfection is not an ideal to be attained in the future. It is the truth of your being now. You are created in the image and likeness of God, and what God has made is perfect. The appearance of imperfection in the body is but the shadow of false belief. By affirming perfection, you are affirming what is eternally real. You are saying to your subconscious, I no longer accept the illusion of limitation. I accept only the truth of my divine origin. The subconscious hears and responds by reorganizing the body into harmony with this perfect pattern. Then affirm with boldness, I am life. Do you realize the power of these words? Life is God, eternal, indestructible, inexhaustible. When you say, I am life, you are uniting your consciousness with the very essence of the infinite. You are declaring that the same power that animates the stars and quickens the seed is the power that animates your body now. This affirmation revitalizes every cell, renews every tissue, recharges every organ, for it is the voice of life speaking directly into the subconscious. Say also, I am light. Light symbolizes understanding, clarity, truth. It dissolves the shadows of ignorance and fear. When you affirm, I am light, you are declaring that the darkness of disease, the gloom of despair, has no place in you. You are affirming that divine wisdom guides every function of your body, every beat of your heart, every breath you take. The subconscious, receiving this affirmation, sends signals of harmony and balance throughout your nervous system, illuminating the pathways of health. Finally, declare, I am health. Health is not something to be acquired, it is the natural state of your being. Sickness is the absence of recognized health, just as darkness is the absence of light. When you affirm, I am health, you are affirming what has always been true, though it may have been obscured by false appearances. The subconscious responds instantly to this command, for it is the natural law of life to express health when not obstructed by fear or false belief. Now, how should you practice this formula? Quiet yourself. Enter into a state of peace. Repeat these affirmations slowly, reverently, feeling them as already accomplished. Do not rush. Let each phrase resonate in the silence of your mind. See yourself as whole, pure, perfect, alive, radiant, and healthy. Imagine light flooding every part of your body. Picture yourself free, strong, joyous. The more vividly you imagine, the more deeply you impress the subconscious, and the quicker the results appear. Repeat the prayer daily, morning and night, and whenever doubts arise, if fear comes, if symptoms persist, return to the formula. Say, the infinite healing presence within me now makes me whole, pure, and perfect. I am life, I am light, I am health. Each repetition deepens the groove in the subconscious until it becomes the dominant pattern. When that happens, the outer condition must change to reflect the inner truth. Do not say, I hope this works. Do not say, I will try. Speak with certainty, for you are working with the immutable law of mind. The subconscious responds to conviction. It hears what you truly feel, not what you merely repeat. Therefore, put your heart into the words. Say them with joy, with gratitude, with the quiet confidence that you are invoking a power greater than any condition. Beloved, many have used this formula with marvelous results. Tumors have dissolved, pains have vanished, organs have been restored, simply by impressing the subconscious with this truth. What worked for them will work for you, For the law is no respecter of persons. It responds to anyone who aligns with it. So I say to you, take this formula as a priceless gift. Make it your own. Repeat it until it becomes a song in your heart. Let it be the last thought before sleep and the first upon awakening. Let it guide you through the day, and know with unshakable certainty that the infinite healing presence is within you now, making you whole, pure, and perfect. You are life, you are light, you are health. My beloved friend, faith is the golden key that unlocks the treasure house of heaven within you. Faith is not blind belief. Faith is not hoping against hope, nor is it wishful thinking. Faith is quiet inner knowing, a deep conviction, a serene acceptance that the work is already done in the invisible and will manifest in the visible. Faith is resting in the truth that the healing presence of God has already responded the instant you pray. Faith is not straining, it is not efforting, it is not begging. Faith is peaceful recognition. It is the still voice within you that says, it is so, it is finished, it is done. Too often people think of faith as something they must try to muster up, as if they must squeeze belief out of themselves by sheer force of will. But faith is not a human struggle. Faith is a divine assurance. It comes when you realize the nature of God and the nature of your own being. God is life. God is love. God is harmony. God dwells within you as your very breath, your very heartbeat, your very consciousness. How can you doubt that life itself is flowing through you? Faith is simply the recognition of this eternal fact. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up the next morning to see if it is sprouting. You trust the soil, you trust the law of growth, you trust the sunshine and rain to do their perfect work. That trust is faith. So it is with prayer. When you affirm health, when you impress your subconscious with wholeness, the law of life responds instantly. Faith is the trust that the process is already unfolding. Unseen perhaps, but certain. You do not need to check anxiously every hour. You rest, you give thanks. You allow the seed of your affirmation to grow. Faith is not a mental argument. It is not repeating words without feeling. Faith is acceptance. It is when the idea sinks from the surface mind into the subconscious and becomes part of your inner knowing. At that moment, the healing is assured. For the subconscious, the creative power within you, must bring forth what is impressed upon it. Faith is the bridge between the invisible idea and the visible manifestation. Consider the words of the Master. When you pray, believe that you have received it, and it shall be yours. Notice the subtlety. Believe you have already received. That is faith. It is not, I will get it someday, but it is mine now. Faith operates only in the present moment, for God is eternal now. When you say, I am healed now, and accept it with conviction, the subconscious takes it as a fact and begins immediately to manifest it in your body. Many think they lack faith, but the truth is everyone has faith. Faith is simply the direction of belief. You may have faith in sickness, faith in limitation, faith in failure, and life will reproduce accordingly. Every fear is misplaced faith, for fear is belief in evil, belief in a power apart from God. When you shift that faith from sickness to health, from limitation to abundance, from fear to love, the results change instantly. Faith is always at work. The question is, what are you placing it in? To cultivate faith, dwell often on the nature of God. Meditate on the truth that infinite intelligence is guiding you. Infinite love is healing you. Infinite power is flowing through you. As you contemplate these realities, a quiet assurance grows within. You no longer feel the need to beg or plead. You simply accept. This acceptance is faith. Suppose you are afflicted with some pain or condition. Instead of resisting it, instead of fearing it, turn inward and say, the healing presence of God is within me now. I accept this truth. I rest in the knowledge that divine love restores me now. Then let it go. Do not check. Do not worry. Do not argue. Simply trust. Just as the farmer does not anxiously watch the soil, you do not anxiously watch your body. You rest in the assurance of faith. Let me share an example. A woman once came to me suffering from a chronic illness. She had tried many treatments, but nothing seemed to help. She said, Dr. Murphy, I do not know if I have enough faith. I told her faith is not something you need to create. It is already within you. Simply redirect it. Instead of having faith in sickness, have faith in God's healing presence. I gave her a simple prayer. God's love is healing me now. I accept it joyfully. She repeated it day and night. not anxiously, but with quiet gratitude. In a short time, her condition vanished, because she had ceased struggling and had entered into the rest of faith. Faith does not mean you will never face doubt. Thoughts of fear may come, symptoms may persist, appearances may contradict your prayer. But faith does not waver because of appearances. Faith says, though I see the storm, I know the sun is shining behind the cloud. Faith looks beyond appearances to the eternal truth. Faith says, I walk by truth, not by sight. When doubt comes, do not resist it violently. Gently return to your affirmation. Say again, God's healing presence is within me now. It is done. I accept it. Each repetition deepens the conviction until it becomes unshakable. Beloved, remember that faith is not extraordinary. It is natural. The very breath you take is faith that air will sustain you. The very act of sitting in a chair is faith that it will support you. You do not question these things. You accept them as self-evident. In the same way, accept the healing presence as self-evident. Accept health as natural, wholeness as normal, harmony as your birthright. When you live in this faith, your body responds with vitality, your mind with peace, your affairs with harmony. Faith is a steady conviction that life is for you, never against you. The universe is conspiring for your good, never for your harm. Faith is saying yes to life. So let us now affirm with joy. I have faith in God's healing presence within me. I trust the law of life to restore me now. I rest in the quiet assurance that it is done. Say it slowly, feel it deeply. Let it sink into your subconscious. As you do, faith takes root, and the harvest of health is inevitable. Beloved, cultivate this faith daily. Water it with gratitude. Nourish it with meditation. Strengthen it with affirmations. When doubts arise, return to faith. When appearances frighten you, return to faith. When the world says no, return to the eternal yes of God within you. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the quiet knowing that what you seek is already given. Faith is acceptance. And so I say to you, walk in faith, speak in faith, rest in faith. Let faith be your constant companion, your guiding light, your unshakable rock. For with faith all things are possible, and your healing is assured. Gratitude, my beloved friend, is the golden oil that smooths the machinery of your mind. It is the sweet perfume that rises to heaven and brings showers of blessings upon your life. Gratitude is not merely polite words spoken with the lips. It is the deep inner acknowledgement that the infinite presence has already responded to your prayer. Gratitude says, it is done, I rejoice in it, I celebrate it. When you give thanks for health, even while the body still shows signs of sickness, you are declaring that you believe in the unseen more than in appearances. You are affirming that the invisible truth of wholeness is greater than the temporary condition of illness. The subconscious mind is impressionable. It listens not so much to your words, but to your feeling. Gratitude is a feeling of joyous acceptance. When you give thanks, you are saying to your subconscious, I have received. It is mine now. This feeling of accomplished prayer impresses the subconscious more deeply than hours of anxious pleading. Gratitude is the language of faith. It seals the prayer, or it carries the conviction that what has been asked is already given. Suppose you were to give a gift to a friend. If they kept saying, I hope you will give it to me someday, you would know they had not yet accepted it. But if they smiled, embraced you, and said, thank you so much, I treasure it, you would know they had truly received. In the same way, when you say, thank you, Father, for perfect health, you are showing your subconscious that you have received the gift of wholeness. The law of mind responds by outpicturing it in your body. Gratitude also shifts the focus of your mind. When you dwell on symptoms, on pain, on lack, you feed them with attention. But when you dwell on gratitude, you withdraw energy from the condition and place it on the truth of healing. Gratitude lifts you out of self-pity, out of worry, out of fear, and aligns you with joy, with harmony, with the current of divine life. In that vibration of thankfulness, the healing presence flows unobstructed. Consider the story of the Master who healed the 10 lepers. Only one returned to give thanks. And to him the Master said, your faith has made you whole. Gratitude was the expression of his faith. The others were healed physically, but only the grateful one was made whole in spirit. Gratitude completes the healing. because it unites the conscious and subconscious in the joyous recognition of truth. Let us practice this. Suppose your body is still in pain. Instead of saying, "Why am I not healed yet?" say, "Thank you, Father, that your healing presence is working in me now. Thank you that every cell is filled with light. Thank you that I am whole and perfect in your sight." As you repeat these words, your focus shifts from lack to abundance, from sickness to health, from fear to love. The subconscious receives the signal. Healing is already accomplished, and it responds with restoration. Do not wait until you see results to be grateful. Gratitude is not the effect of healing, it is the cause. Gratitude precedes manifestation. The farmer thanks the soil as he plants the seed. Not only when he sees the harvest, the mother rejoices at the first stirrings of life within her womb, long before the child is born. So too you must give thanks for health, even before it appears. For gratitude is the assurance that the harvest is inevitable. Make gratitude a daily habit. In the morning, as you awaken, give thanks for the new day, for the breath in your lungs, for the life of God flowing through you. Throughout the day, give thanks for small things, for the smile of a stranger, for the song of a bird, for the warmth of the sun. At night, before sleep, give thanks for the healing presence that worked silently within you all day. This constant attitude of gratitude impresses the subconscious with the truth that life is abundant, health is normal, blessings are overflowing. The subconscious then outpictures this belief as radiant health, prosperity, and joy. When you encounter difficulties, use gratitude as your remedy. Instead of saying, "This is terrible," say, "Thank you, Father, for the solution that is already here. Thank you for the wisdom guiding me. Thank you for the strength to overcome." Gratitude transforms problems into opportunities, obstacles into stepping stones, illness into testimonies of healing. It shifts your consciousness from limitation to possibility, from despair to hope, from bondage to freedom. Gratitude also dissolves resentment. You cannot be thankful and bitter at the same time. When you give thanks for a person, even one who has hurt you, you release the poison of resentment and free yourself from its destructive effects. Gratitude heals relationships, for it focuses on the good rather than the faults. And when your heart is free of bitterness, the body is free to express health. Some may ask, how can I give thanks when I feel sick, when I am in pain, when everything seems against me? Beloved, gratitude is not denial. It does not pretend there is no pain. It simply affirms that God's healing presence is greater than the pain. Gratitude says, "This condition is temporary. The truth of my being is health. I give thanks for that truth, regardless of appearances." This attitude lifts you above the condition and aligns you with the solution. Try this experiment. Each time a symptom troubles you, pause and say, "Thank you, Father, that this too shall pass. Thank you that your healing love is greater. Thank you that I am whole in your sight." Say it until peace floods your mind. You will find that the very act of gratitude eases the pain, for it redirects your consciousness from fear to love. Gratitude is the bridge between prayer and manifestation. Prayer plants the seed. Gratitude waters it. Prayer affirms. Gratitude accepts. Prayer asks. Gratitude receives. Without gratitude, prayer is incomplete. But with gratitude, prayer becomes a song of victory, a declaration that the answer is already here. So, beloved, let gratitude be your constant companion. Let it rise from your heart in all circumstances. Give thanks for the healing that is already yours, for the life that flows through you, for the love that guards you. Give thanks in the morning, in the evening, in times of joy, in times of trial. For gratitude is the key that opens the door to health, peace, and abundance. And as you give thanks, remember this truth. The infinite healing presence within you responds to the vibration of gratitude with instantaneous blessing. Every cell, every organ, every function of your body is quickened, renewed, revitalized. Your subconscious, impressed with gratitude, reproduces it as radiant health. The outer world mirrors the inner joy, and you walk in the sunshine of God's love. Say now with me, "Thank you, Father, that I am whole. Thank you that your healing presence is in me now. Thank you for life. Thank you for love. Thank you for health. I rejoice in your goodness." Let this thanksgiving be the melody of your soul, and you will see wonders unfold in your life. Imagination, my dear friend, is the workshop of God within you. It is the creative faculty of your mind, the paintbrush with which you color the canvas of your life. Every image you dwell upon with feeling sinks into the fertile soil of your subconscious and takes root. What you imagine consistently with conviction and emotion will sooner or later appear in your world, for imagination is the seed of all manifestation. Therefore, when you use your imagination to create an image of radiant health, of vitality, of freedom, you are setting in motion the law of mind that will bring forth healing. You see, the subconscious does not distinguish between reality and vividly imagined thought. If you continually imagine yourself weak, sick, or fearful, the subconscious accepts this as a command and reproduces it in the body. If you continually imagine yourself strong, whole, and joyous, the subconscious equally accepts this and molds the body accordingly. It is like a faithful servant who does not question, but obeys. What you feed it, it multiplies. Thus, your imagination is the master key to health. Consider how a fearful image can create real physical symptoms. A person may imagine disaster or illness, and soon the body responds with tension, palpitations, even sickness. This shows the power of imagination. But if destructive imagination can bring about harm, then constructive imagination can bring about healing. The same law that produces illness when misused produces health when rightly directed. The law is neutral. It is the images you supply that determine the result. Therefore, take time daily to form a clear mental picture of yourself as already healed. Close your eyes, relax your body, and imagine light flowing through you. See every cell aglow, every organ functioning perfectly, every nerve calm and at peace. Imagine yourself engaging in the activities you love, full of energy, smiling, free. See yourself walking in the sunshine of health, surrounded by joy. The more vividly you imagine, the more deeply the subconscious accepts it. Do not merely imagine with the intellect. Add feeling. Feel the joy of freedom, the relief of health, the thrill of vitality. Let your heart rejoice as though it were already accomplished. The subconscious responds most powerfully to feeling. A mental picture charged with emotion is like a seed watered with rain and warmed by the sun. It must grow. Some may say, but Dr. Murphy, I find it hard to imagine health when I still see sickness. To that I say, persist. Your imagination is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. At first it may feel difficult, but do not give up. Each time you practice, the image becomes clearer, more vivid, more real. Eventually, the imagined scene will feel more real to you than the appearance of sickness. At that point, the subconscious has accepted it, and the body will conform. I once knew a man who had been told he would never walk again after an accident. He refused to accept that verdict. Every day, he closed his eyes and imagined himself walking along the beach, feeling the sand beneath his feet, hearing the waves, seeing the horizon. He did this for months with unwavering faith. One day, strength returned to his legs. Slowly, he walked again, then ran, and eventually lived a normal life. What doctors had declared impossible was made possible by the creative power of imagination. Beloved, do not underestimate the power of this faculty within you. Imagination is not child's play. It is divine play. It is the way God creates through you. When you imagine health, you are aligning your consciousness with the eternal pattern of perfection. That pattern already exists in the mind of God. Your imagination simply tunes your subconscious to reproduce it in your body. When you pray, do not stop at words. Add imagination. If you affirm, I am whole, I am perfect, I am health, then close your eyes and picture what that looks like. See yourself radiant and free. If you affirm, God's life is flowing through me now, then imagine a golden river of light streaming through your veins. The subconscious will take that image and make it flesh. Imagination also dissolves fear. Fear is simply the misuse of imagination. It is picturing negative outcomes and believing in them. The antidote is to replace those images with constructive ones. When fear arises, do not fight it. Simply replace the image. If you see yourself sick, replace it with the image of health. If you see yourself failing, replace it with the image of success. Over time, the positive images will overwrite the negative, and fear will vanish. To strengthen your imagination, practice often. In the morning, visualize yourself moving through the day with energy and joy. During the day, take short moments to picture light, surrounding you, healing you, protecting you. At night, before sleep, imagine yourself whole and free, drifting into slumber with a picture of perfection. The subconscious, which never sleeps, will work all night to bring that image into reality. Gratitude and imagination go hand in hand. When you imagine health, give thanks for it as though it were already present. This combination seals the impression. The subconscious hears, this is real, this is mine, this is accomplished, and it acts accordingly. Beloved, remember that every invention, every achievement, every healing began as an image in someone's mind. The airplane, the telephone, the skyscraper, all were first imagined. So too your healing begins as an image. In your mind, do not say, I will believe it when I see it. Say, I will see it because I believe it. Imagination precedes manifestation. Say now with me, I imagine myself whole, radiant, strong. I see every cell filled with light. I feel the joy of health. I accept this image as reality, and I give thanks for it. Repeat this daily, with joy and conviction, and the law of mind will reproduce it in your body. The power is within you. Imagination is the eye of the soul, the window through which you glimpse the eternal. Use it wisely. Use it constructively. Use it to see yourself as God sees you, whole, perfect, complete. And as you hold that image, the outer world will reshape itself to match the inner vision. For what you vividly imagine, with faith and gratitude, you must inevitably experience. Let go and trust. This is the golden key to healing and the secret to answered prayer. The infinite intelligence that created your body knows how to heal it, far better than any human reasoning could ever devise. Your task is not to figure out the method, nor to force results, but to release the burden to the indwelling presence and rest in the assurance that the work is already done. Just as you do not consciously command your heart to beat or your lungs to breathe, so too you need not dictate to the life principle how it shall restore you. It already knows. Trusting is simply allowing the wisdom of God to flow unobstructed through you. Think of the farmer who plants his seed in the earth. He does not dig it up each day to see if it is growing. He does not anxiously wonder about the chemical processes in the soil. He knows that by the law of nature, the seed will germinate, sprout, and bear fruit. His role is to prepare the ground, plant the seed, water it, and trust the invisible process. In the same way, when you plant the seed of prayer in your subconscious, your part is to hold to the vision with faith and let go of the mechanics. Infinite intelligence handles the detail. The restless mind, however, wants to interfere. It wants to control, to figure out, to worry. This constant mental interference is like digging up the seed to check its growth. It prevents the subconscious from doing its perfect work. To let go is to stop meddling, to quiet the mental chatter, and to rest in the knowledge that God's law is in action. This is why Jesus said, according to your faith be it unto you. Faith is trust. It is the serene confidence that the answer is already given. When you release your prayer to the infinite, you must also release the anxiety, the doubt, and the need to see immediate outer proof. The answer is already lodged in the invisible realm, just as a seed must gestate before it appears as fruit. Your healing is already unfolding in the unseen. Do not uproot it with impatience. Instead, say quietly, it is done. Thank you, Father. This attitude of trust opens the channels for the healing power to flow freely. I knew a woman who suffered from a chronic condition for many years. She tried everything, treatments, medicines, affirmations, but always with strain and anxiety, as if forcing results. One day she heard the simple phrase, let go and let God. Something in her surrender. She stopped struggling. She began to rest each night in the thought, the infinite presence within me knows exactly how to heal me. I let go and trust it completely. Within weeks her symptoms dissolved, and she enjoyed radiant health. The change came when she ceased trying to make it happen and allowed God's law to act. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means confidence. It means you have done your part, prayed, affirmed, visualized, and now you release it, knowing the divine takes care of the outcome. It is like placing an order in a store. You do not call every hour to see if the clerk remembers. You know the order is filled. You go about your day calmly, certain the package is on its way. Prayer works the same way. The moment you impress the subconscious with health and wholeness, the order is placed. Now you let go and trust. The conscious mind may protest, saying, "But how will it happen? What if nothing changes?" Each time this arises, gently return to the truth. The infinite presence knows, I release it. It is done. Replace worry with thanksgiving. Gratitude is the language of trust. When you give thanks for your healing, even before you see it, you are declaring that you know it is already accomplished in spirit. This seals the prayer. There is a higher wisdom guiding your body. Your conscious intellect does not regulate digestion, circulation, or cell growth. The life principle does. If it can grow your body from a tiny cell, can it not restore it to health? Of course it can. But you must get out of the way. Doubt, fear, and tension block the flow. Surrender, peace, and confidence. Open it. A man once came to me with ulcers. He admitted he was constantly anxious, trying to control everything in his life. I told him each night to lie quietly and repeat, I relax, let go, and trust the healing presence within me. He did this faithfully. Within a short time, the ulcers disappeared. Why? Because he stopped fighting. The subconscious, when unburdened, went to work to restore harmony. Beloved, life is full of examples of this principle. You trust the sun will rise, the seasons will turn, the tide will come in and out. You trust gravity to hold you to the earth, electricity to light your home. These laws never fail. Why then would you not trust the law of mind, the law of healing, which is God's law? It is more certain than the rising of the sun. So each time you pray, end with release. Say, this prayer is now lodged in the heart of God. I let go. I rest in peace. Live as though it were already done. Walk with a light heart, knowing the answer is unfolding. Do not rehearse the problem. Rehearse the joy of the solution. Refuse to dwell on appearances. Dwell instead on the inner certainty that God's wisdom is at work. Letting go is the deepest act of faith. It is saying, Father, into thy hands I commit my body, my mind, my life. I know thou doest all things well. This is not passivity, but supreme confidence. It is aligning yourself with the highest truth and allowing it to express. And the marvelous paradox is this. The moment you let go, the answer begins to appear. For trust removes the blockages, and the river of life flows freely. Say now with me, I let go and let God. I release all tension and fear. The healing presence within me knows the way. I rest in perfect peace. It is done. Feel the relief, the serenity, the certainty. That feeling is the evidence of faith. Hold to it, and the healing will manifest in your world. Beloved friend, make this your practice each day. Plant the seed of prayer, nurture it with faith, and then release it to the infinite. Do not worry, do not doubt, do not interfere. Let go and trust the wisdom of the life principle. Just as surely as the seed grows into a tree, your healing will blossom into reality. Trust in God's timing, trust in God's method, trust in God's love. For when you let go, you discover the truth. The work was already finished from the beginning. Healing, my beloved friend, is harmony. The moment your mind is at peace, the body reflects that peace, for the body is but a mirror of the mind. Discord in thought produces discord in the flesh, just as calm waters reflect a clear sky. When you hold resentment, fear, or anxiety, you are introducing disharmony into the subconscious, and the body will echo it in the form of tension, disease, or fatigue. But when you fill your mind with love, forgiveness, serenity, and joy, you are sending the signal of harmony in the body like a faithful servant responds with radiant health. Many people seek healing while still clinging to inner conflict. They desire wholeness but harbor bitterness against a neighbor, guilt over the past, or worry about tomorrow. This is like asking a garden to flourish while filling the soil with weeds. The weeds of negative thought choke the growth of health. True healing begins with the mind at peace, with the heart unburdened. When you forgive, you are not condoning another's actions. You are freeing yourself. The poison of resentment harms you, not them. The moment you release it, you set your body free from the corrosive effects of bitterness. I recall a man who had arthritis for many years. He confessed that he had never forgiven his brother for a business betrayal. His thoughts were full of anger and recrimination. I told him plainly, your Roy is paying the price for the quarrel you carry in your heart. Forgive, and you will be healed. He resisted, but eventually in prayer, he sincerely released the bitterness and blessed his brother with love. Within a few months, his joints loosened, his pain vanished, and he walked with ease. His healing came not from medicine, but from harmony of mind. Fear is another great source of disharmony. The body contracts, the nerves tighten, the organs rebel when fear is allowed to dwell in consciousness. Fear is simply faith in the wrong direction. It is belief in evil rather than in God. To heal, you must replace fear with faith, anxiety with trust. Say to yourself often, God is with me, guiding me, protecting me. I am safe. I am secure. As these words sink into the subconscious, the body relaxes and harmony returns. Worry, too, is a thief of health. How many ulcers, headaches, and heart troubles come from ceaseless worry over things that never happen? The mind that is always racing cannot rest, and the body deprived of rest breaks down. The cure for worry is simple: trust in the divine order. Declare, infinite intelligence governs my life. All is well. Repeat this until the storm of worry subsides, and you will feel the calm that heals. Love is the great harmonizer. When you send forth love to all, even those who hurt you, you are tuning your mind to the vibration of God. For God is love. The body, bathing in this vibration, responds with ease and vitality. Hatred is poison. Love is medicine. Begin each day by blessing everyone you know with thoughts of love, peace, and goodwill. You will notice that your own body feels lighter, freer, healthier. Harmony also means alignment with the rhythms of nature. Your body was designed to live in balance, work balanced with rest, activity with stillness, giving with receiving. When you overstrain, overeat, or overindulge, you create imbalance, and imbalance breeds sickness. The wise person listens to the needs of the body, honors its natural cycles, and lives moderately. This too is harmony. Meditation is a powerful way to establish harmony. When you sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let the mind rest on God's presence, you are tuning your whole being to the frequency of peace. The subconscious receives this calm as instruction and regulates the body accordingly. Many have found their ailments dissolve simply by practicing daily meditation, for in the silence the soul remembers its unity with the source of life. Another aspect of harmony is gratitude. When you are thankful, you are in tune with abundance, and health flows naturally. Complaining, on the other hand, creates disharmony. Every complaint is a seed of sickness. Every thanksgiving is a seed of healing. Cultivate the habit of gratitude, and you will find your body glowing with vitality. The harmony of mind also requires integrity. When your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned, there is no inner conflict. But when you live one way and think another, the subconscious feels the contradiction and manifests it as dis-ease. Live truthfully, sincerely, lovingly, and you will find harmony radiating in your health. Do not underestimate the healing power of simple peace. Spend time in nature. Listen to music that uplifts the soul. Read words that inspire. Surround yourself with beauty and kindness. All these create harmony, and harmony is health. Remember, your environment influences your mind, and your mind influences your body. Choose harmony, and healing follows. Say to yourself daily, the peace of God fills my mind. The love of God fills my heart. The harmony of God fills my body. I am whole. I am free. I am health. As you affirm this, feel the serenity sinking deep into you. Feel the waves of peace calming every nerve, every muscle, every cell. This is not imagination only. It is the law of mind reshaping your reality. Beloved, healing is not a mystery. It is harmony. Disease is simply the absence of harmony. Restore peace in your thoughts, love in your heart, faith in your soul, and health will spring forth like flowers after rain. The body is designed to be well. It only mirrors the mental state. Put your mind in tune with God, and the body will reflect perfection. So begin today. Forgive the one you resent. Release the fear you hold. Lay down the worry you carry. Fill your mind with love, faith, and gratitude. Live in balance. Meditate on peace. Affirm harmony morning and night. Do this faithfully, and you will see the miracle of healing unfold. For harmony is the song of the soul, And when you let it play, the body dances in perfect health. Live as though it is done. This is the crowning truth of prayer, the royal road to manifestation, the law of faith in action. Too many people pray for health, for freedom, for supply. Yet after the prayer they continue to live, speak, and act as though nothing has happened. They cancel their own request by their conduct. True faith assumes the result is already accomplished. It walks, talks, and feels the joy of answered prayer here and now. When you live from the end, you are telling your subconscious mind, this is reality. And the subconscious, faithful servant that it is, accepts the command and brings it forth into the visible world. Suppose you plant a seed in the soil. You know in truth that the flower is already there in potential. You water it, you care for it, and you rejoice in its future blossom even before you see a single petal. You may even buy a vase in anticipation. That is faith. In the same way, when you pray for healing, you must know the healing is already accomplished in spirit. You act accordingly, you rejoice accordingly, you give thanks accordingly. Your body will then reorganize itself to match the inner conviction. A woman once came to me, weakened by illness, who longed to be restored. She would pray earnestly for strength, but immediately afterwards she would sigh and say, I feel so weak, nothing is happening. I told her, my dear, you are undoing your prayer. Each time you speak of weakness, you affirm weakness to your subconscious. Begin instead to act as though you are already well. Walk a little, smile, dress with care, give thanks as if the healing has taken place. Live from the end, and you will see it. She followed this advice, and soon her body responded. Her vitality returned because her faith was no longer in words only, but in action. Your body listens not only to what you say in prayer, but to how you live afterward. If you pray for peace, but then speak anxiously and rush about in agitation, the subconscious hears the agitation, not the prayer. If you pray for healing, but dwell on symptoms and confess sickness all day, the subconscious accepts sickness as the reality. Therefore, align your conduct with your prayer. Let your words, your attitude, and your daily living match the vision of wholeness you have accepted. Faith is acting as though it were impossible to fail. The moment you assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are impressing the subconscious with a new reality. Do not wait for the body to look different. Begin to feel different. Do not wait for circumstances to change. Begin to speak as though they have changed. The subconscious does not wait. It responds instantly to the conviction you embody. When the inner change is made, the outer must follow. This is why gratitude is such a powerful practice. Gratitude is the language of having received. When you thank God for healing, even before the evidence appears, you are declaring, it is mine already. Gratitude seals the prayer as complete. A grateful heart is proof to the subconscious that the work is finished. The body then hastens to conform. Begin your day by thanking God for health, freedom, peace, as though you already enjoy them. This mental atmosphere draws them swiftly into manifestation. Living as though it is done also means refusing to rehearse the old story. Too often people repeat the tale of their sickness, their failure, their lack, and in so doing they reinforce it. If you wish to be healed, stop talking about disease. Speak only of life, vitality, and joy. If you wish to prosper, stop talking about lack. Speak only of abundance and success. The words you speak are prayers in motion. Align them with the end you have accepted. I once knew a man who was burdened with financial troubles. He prayed for prosperity, but constantly told everyone how poor he was. I instructed him to change his language. Each day he was to say, I am rich, God's wealth flows through me, and to act as if he were prosperous, tidying his home, dressing with pride, giving thanks for blessings he had. Within a year, opportunities came, his debts were paid, and abundance flowed. The change began the moment he lived from the end instead of rehearsing the lack. Beloved, do not postpone your joy until the outer world changes. Begin to feel the joy now. Feel the relief of answered prayer now. This feeling is the evidence of things not seen, the substance of faith. Walk as though the burden is lifted, and it will be. Laugh as though you are free, and freedom will come. Smile as though you are whole, and wholeness will manifest. The subconscious accepts the present feeling, not the future hope. So embody the feeling now, and the future will conform. This is not pretense or denial. It is truth. In the realm of spirit, your healing, your freedom, your abundance are already accomplished. God's work is finished from the foundation of the world. You are simply aligning yourself with what already is. Living as though it is done is acknowledging that truth and letting it flow into visibility. Each night before sleep, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Picture yourself as you desire to be, healthy, joyous, strong, free. Let that picture fill you with gratitude and peace. Drift into slumber, living from the end. The subconscious, which works ceaselessly through the night, will accept that impression and reproduce it. Each morning, rise with the same conviction. It is done. I am whole. I rejoice in my answered prayer. Carry that attitude throughout the day, and the body and circumstances will mirror it. Beloved, the law of mind is unfailing. What you accept inwardly, you will experience outwardly. Do not postpone acceptance. Do not say, one day I will be healed. Say, I am healed now in spirit, and I live accordingly. The outer must conform to the inner pattern. Live from the end with confidence, and you will see the miracle unfold. Say with me now, I live as though it is done. I walk in health. I speak in joy. I feel the freedom of answered prayer. I know it is finished in God, and I give that. Let that conviction sink into your subconscious, and the law will respond. For the universe always mirrors your inner state. Beloved, never forget this. Faith is living from the end. Prayer is not complete until you act, feel, and live in harmony with the answered result. Do this, and your healing will appear, not as a distant hope, but as a present reality. For when you live as though it is done, you discover the glorious truth. It was always done from the beginning.